I'ma burn it all to the ground, make sure the whole world feel it. That's just how I'm feeling.
Hey, J.O., you made this beat?
Today, from Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, it's a special New Year's Eve edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
All in all, we have a pretty pleasant December day in the Volunteer State. The chilly rain from last night has moved on. The temps have bumped up a bit here at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the San Antonio Dreadnoughts and the Tennessee Titans. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his first look is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Out of the gun now on third down. He finds his man, complete. That's Robbins. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
When the holding penalty sets them back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. On first down, Hurts eluding the pressure right. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And all the way down to the 37. It's a big play there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Hurts fumbles it. But fortunately, another offensive player quick to react, and they will indeed retain possession.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Hurts escaping the pressure right. Well, this is caught. It's Brown. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big connection on that one. 34 yards. When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. He'll drop to throw. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The fourth down pass play doesn't work out. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Chubb on first down, no room to roam as he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. For these two division rivals, the schedule maker gave them a couple of second-half meetings this year. They met for the first time back in Week 11, and it was the visiting Titans who were victorious in that one. So now they'll look for the sweep here back home in Nashville. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. Chase Young in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? We usually talk about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They're going to look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And his kick is indeed good, and that'll do it for the first quarter play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And you can see they'll be the AFC South representative, but for the moment at least, they'd still need to host a wild card game in that first weekend. But not the worst thing in the world.
No, not at all. And you and I both know this about this division. It's been wide open and extremely competitive, and it was again this year. So for a team to come away with the division title and get to the playoffs, you know they'll be battle-tested for their run in January and into February.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Yeah, he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he's got his big tight end here. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Nyheim Hines, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Dreadnoughts have taken the lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. McCann's got it teed up. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. To throw now on 1st down. In trouble, and he's taken down. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back. Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air. And that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this one is incomplete. These two teams met in Nashville earlier in the year with the Titans coming away victorious. So a win here in Nashville would give them the season series. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts, flush to his right. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and 10, Hurts eluding the pressure right. That's complete, Okuebunam. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play. So that challenge, a successful one. Hurts sets up to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. And taken right on the 30. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And it'll be Titan football. Tennessee offense set to go again. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
He finds his man, complete. It's Burgess. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. Room here to run. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. This will be caught by Brown. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw here. Throwing left side, it's complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Titans. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Always caught. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. He'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And it's caught. Touchdown. Deebo Samuel in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dreadnoughts will extend their lead here just before halftime. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway from the 6. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out. He's at The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
That catch good for only a couple.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the 45 on second down, Hurts. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Man open left side is Brown. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
But the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete. Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
They'll find Hines out of the backfield. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for third down. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Deebo Samuel. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Dreadnoughts take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And the lead is up to 18 now.
McCann's got it teed up.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
A run for Nick Chubb. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Handoff comes to Chubb. That'll stretch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
He finds his man, complete. That's Robbins. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. On now is the Titans punter, as he's on here to punt it away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. So no gain on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 10. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he'll take this up to about the 7- or 8-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Fights him off, and they'll get him down up past the 15.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 42. And they rattle off a big one.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone...
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. A big loss there of about 7 yards on 1st and goal, so now it's 2nd down. They'll try the left side. It's Hines. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. Throwing is Hurts. Touchdown! That's caught. Mecole Hardman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dreadnoughts extend this 4th quarter lead, and they are getting closer and closer to win number 11. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. McCann's got it teed up. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked out officially at the 21. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one, because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll make it a second down. They'll look to throw. That'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
3 yards the gain there, second down. They'll look to throw again. That's complete to Tony.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them, because just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now this throw caught left side, and he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
And the Titans are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points, because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shot.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Snags it for the pick. weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20, 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point by McCann, up and good, and the lead will swell by one more. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Tennessee offense making their way out onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And does the defense have it? They do, says the referee. We're going the other way. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Extra point by McCann, up and good, and that will extend this big lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Now a pass is taken in by Smith-Schuster. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is going to go the other way. The defense has it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. From the gun, it's Hurts. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. To try again after the sack. Hurts. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And some room to maneuver. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
McCann's got it teed up. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Burgess. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Back to throw again. Staying on his feet. Looking middle, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for San Antonio,
They get an important win here to move to 11-5 on the year.
so that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we sign off from Nashville.